It's good to speak with you again today, Glenn, and looking forward to discussing this topic of reframing your products and your offer when you go to market.
Thank you, Dustin. I think I can see clearly that we have some sort of mismatch about the future and the current situation now. And the most obvious scene for this is business to business, but you can see it also in the business to consumer with early adopters and late movers. Both if you have customers that is not ready for your offers, as well as consumer not ready for being aware what the technique today can do.
Thanks. Well, my first question is, what's the relationship between physical products and services in the supply chain?
That's a good question, Dustin. I would say that a lot of the historical way of looking at it is that you have your physical product and you have services around it, or you will have adding services after you present it as a salesman or showing your offer to your clients with your physical product. Could be a robot, could be a TV, could be a furniture, could be a system for your house, or whatever. But I don't see any difference anymore. There is, I mean, of course, there's relationships. Everything has relationships. But what I think companies need to do now is to convert your thinking about how you present your product and service offer. And it's actually, if it was 80% your product and 20% your service in the mind of your sales force or salespeople, it should be the opposite. It's about 80% that is actually the services. You need to get the extra warranty or the relationship in a more long relationship with your customer, meaning the supply chain also have to adapt to this. It's not only about the last mile. It's not only about the lead time to the customer. It's about making sure that your customer, when they receive the goods with the services around it, using that word, needs to be adapting to the new situation with digitalization.
And well, so what does the pricing have to do with the supply chain?
Well, of course, if you offer instead of 80% is your product, your physical product, and 20% is your service offer, and we are looking at 80% as a service offer and 20% a physical product, then you need to reframe and do your prices and your pricing management system. And to do that, you have to do education. And it's not only your sales force that needs to be adapting to the new situation. It's also actually learning from the relationship with your customers to understand how mature is your customer and what is the price going to be for your services, because we're going to have another price model. And if the supply chain is not together with the price, we are lost in what is the value in the end for the customer.
And can you talk about why are the right demand forecasting methods needed?
Well, demand forecasting methods, applying what I just said about that services would be 80% of your product and 20% would be the physical product. Saying that, you need then also to be aware that all those sales or the deals you're doing, you need to be much more, how would I put it, aware that the customer's way of buying things will change. So forecasting methods needs to be much more systemized, and you need to be even better to schedule your service offer, because the service offer is more about making sure you have the right uptime in your system for the additional services you gave. It could be, are we actually getting paid for the warranties? So it's not about forecasting your physical product. It's much more about forecasting your services. And that is a different story, actually, when you forecast that. It's going to be tougher, harder, but it's possible. And I'm dead sure that we will see a development where we'll have much more pricing management and different business models for different types of customers. If you are that type of company where you have different products and you have different service offers and different segments, and the different segments you need different business models.
Well, how is pricing and demand forecasting done effectively?
I would say that if you have an ERP system, you have some sort of MRP system, and several helping hands in terms of systems nowadays. I think what is lacking in many companies is actually making sure that the pricing and demand forecasting also needs support in terms of data support, and also how you deal with your master data in that case. Because if you are selling in early days a physical product, you will have a much more complex master data to be tracking down all the transactions that is going to happen, not in one time, it's going to happen in 5 or 6 or 7 years from now. So without a tool to use, I think you're going to lose a lot of money, because you're not seeing the money that is lost because you gave away services that you should be paid for.
Thanks, Glenn, for sharing today on this topic.
Thank you, Dustin. I hope you have a good day, and I'm looking forward to give my point of views later on this spring coming up. And I wish you a good new year. The Chinese year is just starting. Thank you.